All right, here we go. I'm John Retton with my review of NWA Powerrr Extra Powerrr, a bonus episode of Powerrr presented by Nick Aldis, the World Heavyweight Champion himself. He made an announcement yesterday to commemorate 1,000 days and counting as NWA World Heavyweight Champion. This was presented by him and Strictly Business, and he gave us a rundown of the card to start. I will say it was nice that they put a free full episode on their YouTube channel, even though I don't mind paying the money for the Fight TV subscription, and it's pennies on the dollar to get some wrestling action and some pretty good promos. But anyway, this particular episode, he gave us a rundown of the card. We're going to get a sit-down interview with Vladimir and Camille. We're going to get him lacing up his boots in an exhibition match, Tim Storm in a match, and an NWA TV Championship match in the main event. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on this particular show in the comments, please. So we have Joe Galli, Tim Storm, and Dr. Robert Stinson. It's easy for you. I think that was Stinson. Was that? Anyway. So it's Odinson with Powerrr versus Aldis with Strictly Business. And Odinson has a great look. I don't know what the red stuff is. I have no idea. But he seems fired up, and he's definitely, got a great look. And this had Joe Galli, and I like Joe Galli. Joe Galli and Stinson arguing quite a bit because Stinson wasn't exactly being, totally unbiased when it came to Aldis, and Galli's still upset about how Nick Aldis cheated and what he did to retain the championship against Trevor Murdoch, at their most recent pay-per-view, When Our Shadows Fall. And Odinson used power. Camille does interfere. The referee does get distracted. Eventually, Odinson comes back with a nice corkscrew European uppercut, and he did hit a really nice pounce at one point. That was nice, but the referee gets annoyed with a fracas going on outside and says, "Okay, Powerrr, you're out. Oh yeah, Strictly Business, you're out too." Then they have a little more, match there. The elbow and then the cloverleaf, the Kingsman cloverleaf gets the victory. So there was no doubt Aldis was going to win, but Odinson did get in some nice shots. Now we have Jordan Clearwater versus Tim Storm, and Tim used some... I will say this, it's nice that Tim Storm is being used almost as an attraction on this particular, like now in this rebranding of the NWA, because they were off for a year because of the pandemic. I love his analysis on commentary, but it's nice that they use him in the ring because he can still go and he can have, good TV matches like this and can probably have a good... Hopefully he's going to be featured on the NWA 73rd anniversary show. So he does deserve it for what he's done with this revival of the NWA. He used some good power. Jordan did, get in some nice forearms, but this was no doubt going to be a victory for Tim Storm. And it was. He got the perfect storm. 1, 2, 3. Very nice stuff. Now, show respect at the end. And then we had a heart-to-heart with May Valentine interviewing Camille, Thomas Vladimir, and their dog. Their dog who was falling asleep during most of this. And look, I like that they let people get their feelings out and everything and share how they feel. They don't overly script or barely script at all. And that's good. Let people be real. This got a little bit long in the tooth for me. Camille did talk about being, NWA Women's Champion. And May's like, well, you were like... almost calling into question, like, even though May wasn't trying to say it, like, Camille's like, well, you were gifted this, Camille. Like, what? I earned this. And, typical stuff and everything. It was, nice little bit. And then Vladimir talks about how he couldn't win the tag team championships, a little bit earlier and all that stuff. And the dog looked like it just wanted to go walkies or be fed something or whatever. And who will be at the wedding? Will William Patrick Corgan be there? Man, they're name dropping him like crazy. Of course he'll be there. We'll have a special reserved seat. But then they talk about how Strictly Business is being, targeted by William Patrick Corgan. So I think that wedding invitation will be lost in the mail. And then we get a sit-down interview about Austin Idol and Velvet Sky. Well, with them about, what's going to happen in the finals of the Champion Series. I don't need to hear Grandpa Idol go on and on and on. He was a great talker back in his day. Now he just sounds like an old man that's just lost. Velvet Sky teased possibly getting back in the ring. That is not what wrestling needs. Because she wasn't that good before, and if she wants to be a manager/commentator, that's fine. But anyway, they argued like children. They really just argued like children. This didn't accomplish anything. This was just to pad out the show. And I understood what they were trying to do with the previous one. This didn't work for me. So then Kyle Davis interviews the Pope, says he will win tonight, and then the Lucky 7 rule and all that because this is his 7th defense with the NWA TV Championship. No time limit because he wants to prove that he can win. And Tyrus versus Pope. Okay, I understand what they were trying to do. Pope was trying every dirty tactic he could because Tyrus had done that with him and he had, beat his leg up and everything, targeted with the figure 4, using the ropes and stuff like that. And okay, that's fine. Tyrus couldn't do. I think Tyrus did like 5 moves because he can't do anything because he's wiped out. However I personally feel about Tyrus, he couldn't do anything in the goddamn ring. And they had to do every bit of smoke and mirrors here. I knew what was going to happen, and pretty much what this did is it cemented the fact that the TV championship really doesn't mean anything anymore. It's one thing to put it on a monster heel that can benefit your company. Tyrus can't. If he was almost 50 and in great shape, or at least motivated to do stuff, fine. He can't do anything anymore. He can barely bump. He can barely do anything. And Pope, thanks for coming, Pope. He lost the championship after a ref bump and then the hard punch, and then the ref got revived 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that's pretty much it right there. That's all I really got to say. I'm glad they gave us a bonus episode. That was fine, but just I'm going to give them until the pay-per-views, and then I'm going to reassess if I'm going to review it weekly, because there's been some good stuff, but also they've been treading water some weeks, and this was a bit of a downer of a main event. And not like, oh, I want to see Pope get his revenge, or I want to see who's going to challenge Tyrus next. Nah, I don't really want to see the fucker on my television at all. And TV Championship, they were just starting to do some good stuff with Pope as a champion, and now, oh well, they could have given it to somebody else, just saying. Give it to Latimer. Latimer would have had some good defenses. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ricklin. I'll see you soon.